welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today's video is going to be me answering a few discussion questions about the book Cubana. So if you've already read this book and you are curious to know my thoughts on this particular title, stay tuned. Y'all already know I said in each one of my discussion videos, and if you have not seen those, I will link the playlist here for all of the discussion questions I've done so far by Ashley and JaQuavis. But these two are the king and queen of urban fiction in my opinion. I've never read a disappointing read. If you're new to reading, if you're interested in reading and you want a page turner, I recommend you starting with their reads because you won't be disappointed, boo, and you'll thank me later. So I'm going to start it off with the discussion questions. I believe it's about 5 of them. And then I'm going to give it my overall rating. And it won't be one of my book discussions videos without me addressing some things that I need to address. Question number 1. Did you catch the hints throughout the book that revealed who Tally really was?
Is that even a question?
Absolutely not. I had no idea. I didn't. I ain't even gonna sit here and pretend. What I am gonna say that was alarming to me, but I would have never wrapped it around Tally being a dude, was the fact that she said she didn't get no periods. In case you missed it, boo,
I don't see how.
Ramina and her girls was, I believe, at the shop. And they were having their little sex talk, girl talk. They was talking about having men run red lights.
You don't know what that means?
Having sex when your period is on. One was saying that they not into that. The other one was saying that they were. They, asked what were her thoughts about that. And she pretty much said, oh, I don't get periods.
How you do that?
Because I would like to know. I honestly tied it into her going through such traumatic issues. Sometimes traumatic things happen and it takes a toll on your body and so forth. So I just figured, that was what it was. If you are not aware of the hints, myself and the urban librarian had a little conversation about this because I was just like, okay, I heard the period part, but what else? She shined some light on the whole situation, and I'm going to shine it for you. When Regis made like a little statement to Saint saying, you're into things like that as well, I...
And you probably did too.
Thought that they were talking about pedophile because Saint mentioned that these kids were young. So I'm thinking like, oh, you mean pedophile, liking young kids, but not the part about liking little boys. I would have never guessed that one. So thank you. Portia, you look that. Only giving head. Tally always only gave head. And that is so true. Like, again, I summed it up to her not wanting to, her being so damaged, she just didn't want to, never would have guessed that was wrapped around that either. Just a side note, then I started thinking about when Tally went to give head or gave head to Saint and Ramina walked in. What would have happened after the head? Am I the only one who thought it was finna go all the way down? I know I'm not. So what would have happened after the head? Because then maybe he would have wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Man, don't you wish that part could have played out? And the other hint was that she really connected with Kuda, Lil Kuda. And that's because they both were men and gay, or into the same type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like they had that in common. Who would have thought? JaQuavis.
Where do y'all be coming up with this shit from?
I don't know, but just keep it coming, honey. Keep it coming. Number 2. Was Saint's experience with Pandora real or his imagination? I would like to believe that
it was all a dream.
I guess because he woke up in the damn bed. I think, though, what may have strung me just a little bit to believing that it was really some type of something was when he found a piece of gray hair on his his genital area. How did that get there without them doing something? And what put the icing on the cake was when Pandora made a little comment that was referring to the rendezvous. But you would have only had to been there and a part of it to have known that. Let me see if I can find a comment. She said, watch that puddle on the floor, baby. You wouldn't want to drown in all that water now, would you? You tell me, do you think that that really went down? Here go me getting off the topic all over again. JaQuavis, or maybe you can even shine some light. Just help me to understand just a little bit better on how did the Pandora whole thing tie into the rest of the story. The part about the child with no features, no face features, the monkey committing suicide, and what was all of that about? When I first started reading the book, I was just like, oh, okay, so it's one of them type of reads. Witchcraft, voodoo, you know, all of that. I'm like, okay, this is completely different. I ain't really used to reading nothing like this or reading anything like that from them. And then, I mean, it's like you heard about it and then you ain't hear nothing else about it. I'm just trying to figure out, did I miss something? I think I did, because I'm assuming all of it tied in together. It's just how. Number 3, Tay describes Saint as the love of her life. Does he feel the same way? I personally wouldn't necessarily say the love of his life. I absolutely do believe that he really, really cared about her. I kind of feel like he felt that he was family, her family. He knew everything. He witnessed the horrific scenes and things that happened to them. I just personally feel like it was more of a big sister, big brother vibe. And then you probably like, so
You let your sister suck your dick?
I guess what I'm saying is, if he didn't have Ramina, then he probably would have put all of his eggs in that basket. I just feel like he just felt like he needed to protect her. He needed to be sure she was good. It's natural as humans for us to gain feelings for people when they've done things for us, when we are with them in their presence a lot of the times or often. Then not to mention, he did say that she was pretty, you know, attractive and so forth. That scene where he saw her at the corner store and that whole situation with her and the fat boy and all of that, he went back and he rescued her from that whole situation. Like, he was just used to that, though. He was used to, so he did what he thought he needed to do. Some people may agree to disagree and say, oh, only somebody would do that if you care about them, if you love them. I'm sure he had love for her. I don't think that was the love of his life. Number 4, what did Tay's true identity change for Saint? Personally, I feel like it's a little bit too late to have any type of feelings about anything. I think if I was in his shoes, and as humans, the first thing that we would do is reflect and replay all of the signs that we probably missed. Because I remember him making mention of her shape being, she had butt, but she was flat chested. And, you know, so I'm sure he just reflected on all of this. All of these different things that he probably saw, noticed, you know, that just kind of like, you know, just swept it underneath the rug or turned the other cheek on. I do kind of feel like, though, had he known that it was she was a girl, I don't even know if he would have really saved him had he known that that was a guy. I think he would have just felt like, okay, this is none of my business. That's fucked up, but this is none of my business. More so than him feeling like, okay, damn, this girl, she's here, she's young, she's, you know what I'm saying? He is a little bit more soft spot because it was a woman, or supposedly. I do believe, though, that if he had known when he went to their little abandoned house and they was high as shit off of his coins, I do believe he would have shot both of them. But besides the fact of him stealing from him, or her stealing from him, it would have been like, and then you ain't gonna tell me that you a dude? And number 5, what similarities did Tay and Kuda have? I think that they both was living in their truth. They didn't really discuss much on Tay getting to becoming a woman and so forth, but she was living like a female. You know what I'm saying? Kuda was also openly gay. They did, I feel like they both probably dealt with people disclaiming them, disowning them, maybe going through people judgmental, friends, family, people in the environment. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody is going to be acceptance of LBGT. It's unfortunate, but I do believe that they probably went through the same battles, trying to feel accepted, feeling love, and I think that that's how they got along so well. Pretty much completes the discussion questions, but I just want to throw out some different things that I witnessed along the story. Did anybody else not see that coming with the dogs fighting, but really being humans, fighting each other until they pretty much kill one another? That was so random. When I reached that point of the book, I literally had to put the book down and come back to it at a later date because it was just so overwhelming. Like, to know that this is really happening with trafficking, I think that that tied into sex trafficking or trafficking period, where people are being taken and snatched away from their homes and having to go through horrific, cringeful things. Like so. I felt it when Saint was just like,
okay, please call it off. Like, just stop the match. Please stop the match.
That was me. I was just like, please, okay, don't let him kill the poor girl. Don't let him kill the boy. Like, y'all know I always gotta close out the discussion with some heartfelt shit. There was a few. Here's one. Be careful about lying to your woman. Every time she forgives you, you will love her a little more. However, with your lies, she will begin to love you a little less. So the day you love her the most will be the day that she will love you least.
Can the church say amen?
Men, relationships, friendships, be honest. You feeling her? You are? Be honest. You not? Be honest. You want to move on along? Be honest. You miss her? Be honest. Because we appreciate that so much more than being strung along. You know what I'm saying? Because we lose respect. But we value honesty. We'll appreciate you so much more because you kept it 100. We may not be able to swallow it at the time, but we will have no choice because guess what? At least you were honest. That was another one. Most people think physical pain is the worst thing in life. But try living with regret. That is true pain because there was no real end to that feeling. Regret is everlasting. Physical pain is nothing like living with something that you have done and that you wish you would have not have. You will spend the rest of your life regretting it, playing that moment back, wishing that you would have handled it a certain way differently, wishing you would have not did it, wishing you would have said something, wishing that you would have, like, you will spend the rest of your life. You hear me? The only thing that you will be able to do, accepting what you cannot change because you can't go back. Another one. Saint was like, the key to keeping a woman happy is making sure she has something to look forward to. That's all a woman really wants. She wants something to get dressed up for and look forward for. If they is not the spokesperson for a woman's dreams, I felt that. See, these men, it's like they need to be reading these books so they can be able to get brushed up on how they supposed to take and treat a woman in a relationship. I got a discussion question for you. Would you have handled the situation the same way as Ramina did with putting the poison heroin, I believe, in the Bible and giving it to her? I personally feel that when you're in the heat of the moment, you're capable of doing anything. When you're in love, you do some crazy shit. So I'm not even surprised that that happened. I knew that because they held on to that poison and they purse, it went from one person's purse to somebody else's jacket. I'm like, somebody is going to get a hold of that and they going to kill themselves. I knew it. I just didn't know who exactly. And then another thing, who else couldn't believe the end? The coroner put the sheet back so it exposed her entire body. Saint's eyes drifted down And his heart dropped when he saw a small penis on Tay. His knees got weak. He almost fainted. He was wondering what the hell. His whole world was turned upside down and he was so confused. However, the truth was there all of the time. He just never noticed. Neither did you. Did he not end that with a bang? When I read that, I'm like, what? Huh? Really? But how? But yeah. But no. Those was all my reactions. Did you see that coming, sis? I damn sure ain't see that coming. That's why I love their books. Because I'm not really sure as to how the Pandora situation tied in with the rest of the story, I'm giving the book 4 out of 5. I'm moving on along to Butterfly, so I will be having another one of these videos. So if you like this type of video, please be sure to subscribe down below. And I want to thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, later.